many times, but yeah, I cannot control laughing. A great book. So, any questions, please? If there are no questions, that means you didn't understand anything. If there are many questions, you didn't understand anything. So, few questions are welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Future Shock, I will read it definitely.
Sure.
However, how do you compare this with H.G. Wells?
I've not read many of H.G. Wells of this topic, so I don't have much to say on that.
Okay. In one of his books, he also speaks more about the future.
Okay.
So
This is more of example driven, put and making most of the headers and headlines in a very humorous way. He says, as I was mentioning before, this gentleman walked in, the paper wedding gown.
yeah.
So if you really look, you feel like reading it. So he made it very interesting to read. Yeah.
So the book is like small articles with various
20
topics.
chapters, about 300 pages, but he divided that into different topics. Within one chapter, he divides into, so more of them are examples. So one, as I told you, one was Barbie. He talks about Barbie, but weaves that into what is reality. He takes that example. Secondly, he takes paper gown wedding. He talks about that, but he weaves into this is most of them are going to be disposable items. He says there's nothing called a permanent life. Everything is going to be temporary. Everything is going to be disposable. That's what we do now. We consume so much of foam, so much of plastic, so much of paper. We are cutting trees. We are basically spoiling the environment here, right? We are so much of landfill with foam, which is a dangerous product. So that's what we are doing. And he talks about all those. And he talks about so many diseases. So many diseases. He says that diseases are going to be in millions. And we're already there. We're already there. I used that in one of my short stories. That thought. That thought in one of the stories called Manishi Bratkinte. At the end I say that this is human life, and we always invite problems, self-inflicted problems, and we always want tensions. We don't want attention, we always want tension. That's what I wrote there.
The way you introduced the book definitely created inquisitiveness for all of us.
Sure, thank you.
Definitely I would like to read that book. Get one copy and then read it.
Thank you. I told
So
one.
probably I wanted to read it, that's why I don't have many questions. Without reading it, what can I ask?
You're always smart.
So
No, I understand. I'm just kidding. Because
maybe
yes.
after this I was going to take book and then see
We
like
can-
how it is organized.
in the next session we can
that
discuss
gives
more.
like a brief idea about the book. Yeah, definitely the way you introduced those two, three highlights definitely increased my interest.
On the same note, if you really watch the movie, the Close Encounters of Third Kind, Steven Spielberg, that movie was recommended by the same professor who recommended this book. I went and watched that movie. A fantastic movie by Spielberg. So the movie, I know I'm deviating the subject, but I still would like to stay because I'm trying to connect with this one to that. The American NASA, the American scientists, NASA, they try to combat, they try to face these aliens, and they are not able to cope up with them. They come and they start annoying the humans. So they try everything, they give up. Finally, somebody says, I think there are some sadhus and gurus and sages in India, why didn't you approach them? So they approach these sages in India, monks and sages in India, they get them here and they chant mantras, and aliens become friendly, and finally they listen to them, they go away. Watch that. Oh.
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters of Third Kind. A brilliant movie, brilliant movie.
So, around what period?
Late 70s?
Okay.
Late 70s. Yeah. Great
Definitely,
movie.
because I love movies.
Yeah,
as well.
great movie. You must watch it. Okay, is my time up?
I have a couple of questions. So, are his his predictions time-based? Does he say that it can happen in 90s or 2000s? Did he give a timeline to that?
No.
Question, no, there isn't.
No, he does not say this is going to happen in this time. That is the job of Nostradamus or Ramangar, as I told you. It's not a prediction. I mean, I don't want to attach that word prediction to his book at all. It's a thought. He thinks that way.
Okay. And what are his? Is it completely economics driven, or what is his thought about science?
More about the community, the life, the day-to-day life. You know what happens in day-to-day human life, and the growth of technology.
And anything on, because you brought up the diseases, so did
Yes.
you talk about the medical advancements, anything on that?
Yes, most of them are going to be transmitted diseases. He talks about. I think he also talked about AIDS and the attention disorder. We talked about the OCD, ACD, OCD, whatever you call it. Yeah, he talked about all those things. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the opportunity, for listening patiently and asking questions and wearing that wonderful smile. Thank you.
Thank you, Viju.